Hi YouTubers. I thought I would revisit the series I had worked on in the past, maybe probably closer to 2 years ago, for the new pipe smoker, something I called Pipe Basics. These are kind of videos I kind of put together for the new pipe smoker who oftentimes has a lot of questions or uncertainty about different facets of pipe smoking. So they're not really probably as useful or interesting to the experienced and long-time pipe smoker, but I hope they are, but really they're geared toward the new pipe smoker. In today's episode, I thought I would discuss my thoughts on breaking in a new Briar pipe. What had prompted me to do this video was, if you've been watching my channel recently, you know that I recently purchased this new fern-down bent bulldog pipe, and this was a new unsmoked pipe. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go through the process of breaking it in using the method that works for me. So it's a kind of it's not a very complicated and drawn out method, but it does have some peculiarities to it. It works for me. But you don't have to use this method. It's not necessarily the best method, the only method to use it. I mean, probably the simplest method, and it works for a lot of people. It probably works the majority of the time, is just load up the pipe and smoke the damn thing like you would any other of your pipes, regardless of whether it's the first bowl or the 1,000th bowl. That you can break in a pipe that way too, but I don't quite do it that simple. I kind of put a little bit more thought and a little bit more effort into it, but not much, and I thought I'd share that with you. Now this particular pipe, when I bought it, the smoking chamber wasn't bare wood. It actually had a little carbon coating in it, that kind of helps prepare the bowl to be smoked, I guess. But the method I use, whether the bowl is bare wood, the smoking chamber is bare wood, or it's kind of got that carbon coating on it, the effectiveness of the method I use doesn't matter whether those two conditions exist or not. They both work for me. So what I do is, especially if it's a pipe, or I should say specifically if it's a pipe that I don't know what I want to dedicate it towards, regardless of whether, I don't have any pipes that are dedicated just to a specific blend. I have pipes that are dedicated to a type of tobacco, like I've got my aromatic pipes and my English pipes, or my Virginia pipes. But if it's a pipe that I'm not sure if I want to dedicate, or what I want to dedicate it to, or if I want to dedicate it to any type of, type of tobacco, I use this process. Now, if it is a pipe that I want to, definitely make it an aromatic pipe, I'll use aromatic tobaccos to break it in, but I'll still use the same type of process. But for this pipe, I didn't know, wasn't sure. I was thinking this is going to be a Virginia pipe, but I'm not sure. It may become an English/Latakia pipe for me. So when it's cases like that with me for new pipes, what I use is Carter Hall as my tobacco to break it in. Carter Hall is basically, it's primarily a burley blend, but I do think it has a little bit of Virginia in it, but it's by and large a burley blend, and I use that because I like Carter Hall. It smokes nice and clean and dry. It won't gunk up a pipe. It has a pretty neutral taste. It's slightly on the nutty side, but it's not real strong, so it won't ghost a pipe. And for me, it seems like burley blends or burley-based blends will build a cake quicker than straight Virginias or Englishes or things like that. It just seems to build cake a little bit better. It's, like I said, it smokes clean and dry, and it's relatively neutral tasting, so I don't have to worry about any kind of ghosting. So if it's a pipe that I'm not sure what I'm going to smoke in, I'll use Carter Hall. Now what I do is I don't like, for the first 10 bowls, fill it up halfway, and then for the second 10 bowls, fill it up 3/4 of the way, and then after that, fill it up all the way. I just fill the pipe up. Just load it up with my Carter Hall all the way to the top and smoke it. The only thing I do in particular is, and this is something I really highly recommend to everyone who's breaking in a pipe, is until I feel the pipe is broken in and the cake has started to build, I smoke it really slowly, taking little sips and taking some time between each puff, to try to keep the temperature of the bowl from getting too high and the bowl getting hot. because I think that is key to breaking in a pipe, an unsmoked pipe, is to keep that bowl until a cake can form, and the cake acts as a protective barrier, actually, to the wood, to keep that bowl from getting too hot. Because when you smoke a pipe, you're stressing the wood, even though that block of briar may have been seasoned by the manufacturer, and dried out and seasoned, or even some manufacturers like Ashton and Ferndale, they'll oil cure their pipes, and that helps the smoking process. Still, it's basically, for all intents and purposes, when it comes to smoking, kind of a raw piece of wood, and when you smoke it, you're stressing it. You're putting some stress on that wood, and you need to, the smoking process will kind of toughen up that wood and get it used to taking that assault from heat. So you want to be gentle with it until it kind of, toughens itself up a little bit and builds a cake, and So that's why I really highly recommend you smoke your pipe when you're breaking it in, a new pipe, really slowly. Take little sips and keep the bowl from getting hot. Try to keep it as cool as possible, and do that until you get a cake to start forming. Because once the cake starts forming, then that'll be a good protective barrier against heat. Because if the bowl is still kind of raw and unseasoned and not broken in, it's much more susceptible to getting burnouts inside it from all that heat being applied to it. So that's my biggest thing with breaking in a pipe, is not so much what I smoke in it or how to load it and half, 3/4 full, for just smoke it really slowly to keep that bowl as cool as possible. And once you get a cake start to form, then you can if your smoking cadence is someone who kind of really chugs along on it, it'll help keep that pipe from getting hot. And also, if you smoke blends in it that just naturally tend to get hot, some blends just seem to smoke hotter than others, again, that'll help, I guess, mollify those things that can be detrimental to that block of briar. So again, that's the process I use. It's as simple as that. I don't use any kind of coating inside the bowl, before I smoke it. Like some people take a little honey and kind of dilute it, cut it with a little bit of water, and smear it inside the bowl to try to accelerate the buildup of a cake or something like that. I don't do that. You can if you want to. If that's what you want to do, great. Knock yourself out. I just think that really the most key thing in breaking in a pipe is to smoke it slowly and keep that bowl cool until the cake starts forming. And that's pretty much it. Again, this is all about briar pipes. Meerschaum pipes or corncob pipes are different. Those pipes, you don't want or need a cake in them. The smoking experience is not, it doesn't really seem to be improved with the addition of a cake, especially in a meerschaum pipe. I've read that actually building up a cake in a meerschaum pipe is actually that's a bad thing, because it can, if the cake gets too thick, it can actually cause the meerschaum to crack. I don't know how true that is, but anyway, basically you don't need a cake in a meerschaum pipe, so you don't want to, actually you want to go to the effort of not allowing a cake to build up in a meerschaum pipe. Corncob pipes, those things are like, for as cheap as they are, you're like, a corncob, what the heck is this? Those things seem to be like, it's almost like they're like bulletproof. I mean, they can crack and they can get burnt out too, but it's almost like, just let, when you're smoking a corncob pipe, it's just like, let it rip and don't worry about it, because they seem to just handle, smoking, especially when they're raw and new, a lot better than briar would for some reason. Not that they won't burn out or get damaged from being oversmoked or smoked too hard, but I think part of that the reason people don't worry about that too much with corn cobs is they're so darn cheap. I mean, what, $5 or $10? You can get one. So if you just get one that just burns out or just bad or whatever, you can just toss it and buy another one. No big deal. But you get a big, a beautiful piece of briar, and you get a burn out one of those, and you're like, damn, that sucks. This is a beautiful pipe. Now I got a big old burn hole in the dang thing. Corn cobs, you're like, eh. So anyway, I don't know about other woods. Like, some pipes are made from like olive wood or something. I don't know. I don't have any pipes like that, and there's not many of those pipes around. So I don't know if they need to be treated, like a briar pipe would be, where you want to be careful not to overheat them when they're first getting broken in, or they're more like corncob pipes and you can just let her rip. I don't know. My thoughts are basically about breaking in a briar pipe. So there you go. Hope that was useful, excuse me, informative. Take it for what it's worth. Take it for what it's worth. Thanks for watching, guys. Smoke in peace.